Namaste. Thanks for coming. Welcome to class. This is going to be a backbend class. So put on your backbend self. Excited to bend. You've got your equipment for the journey, a belt, a block, a blanket, optional helmet if you brought one, and anything else. We will be using the strap to bind ourselves in certain ways. We use the strap around the arms and the strap around the toes. You're going to be binding your big toes together. Okay. And the lasso is something that Ganesha carries. This is one of his objects in one of his hands. He has a little lasso, a little noose. And it symbolizes steadiness or steadfastness, right? How you would kind of bind something in place, whether that's still, right? You're holding it still, or whether that's in motion, right? You're kind of fixing something in the state that it's in. Right? So Ganesha's father, my daughter asks me that sometimes. She goes, "What's Ganesha's daddy's name?" It's Ganesha's daddy. It's Shiva. And Shiva Nataraja, the steadiness or steadfastness is the standing leg. Right? So Ganesha, the objects in his hands and his symbolism kind of mirrors what his father's doing, right? Of creation, maintenance, dissolution, concealment, and revelation. So it's that sustenance or maintenance. Okay. So we're going to be binding ourselves and creating a steadiness and a commitment. Push your fingertips into the floor behind you. Create a steady lift up through your spine. Now take your tailbone and lift your low belly. Create a tone in your pelvic floor and in your low belly. So you create Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. Join your hands together in front of your heart and close your eyes. And take a moment here and become steady. From whatever you just came from to whatever is next after your practice, that yoga gives us the opportunity to focus, to create steadiness in our consciousness, to commit ourselves, to commit our freedom in the form of our choices, to bind ourselves to this moment, to these 90 minutes, to this practice. Sing the sound of Om 3 times. Take a deep breath in. Bow your head to your heart. Release your hands to your thighs. Lift your chin. Open your eyes. Sit on your heels. With your knees outer hip width apart and your big toes touching, press your hands down and anchor your pelvis. Scoop your tailbone. Lift your low belly. Keep your tailbone in and your pelvic floor engaged. Walk your hands forward. Anchor your pelvis. Walk your hands forward, bow your head. Practice Ujjayi Pranayama. Create smooth and even waves of breath. Keep your arms straight and strong. The underside of your arms lifting up away from the floor. Listen to the sound of your breath and use that sound to help you focus. To give your mind a focal point. Give your mind a job. Your mind's job is yoga, is to be here, is to be yoked. Stretch into downward facing dog. Separate your hands wider. Turn your hands out slightly. Continue your steady breath. Spread your fingers and your toes. Firm the muscles of your arms and of your legs. Stretch your arms straight, stretch your legs straight. From your heart, push down through your hands, stretch up through your hips and down through your legs. Become steady. So resist the tendency or desire, if it is one, to kind of move around in downward facing dog, like the wiggle dog. Don't do the wiggle dog, do the steady dog. Stay for one more minute. Lift and broaden your sit bones. Press the tops of your thighs back and stretch down through your legs. Lift the sides of your waist, your side ribs, your outer shoulder blades, and the underside of your arms. And stretch. Bind your awareness to your pose. For these some 90 minutes, make your practice the most important thing. So you give yourself the gift of focus, of steadiness. Walk forward, Uttanasana. Separate your feet hip-width apart. Line your feet up parallel. Firm the muscles of your legs and bow deeply. Use the strength of your legs to release your spine. Use the engagement of your muscles to create then a length, a freedom, so that your commitment, your steadiness, your steady action creates, even in this pose and in every pose, an experience of freedom, of whatever is optimal for you in these shapes. Bring your hands on your hips, shoulders on your back, lift your chin. Inhale, come up to standing. Join your legs together. Join your palms together, Anjali Mudra. Make your legs strong. Press the tops of your thighs back. Scoop your buttocks, take your tailbone in. Tone your pelvic floor, tone your low belly. Create Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. Exhale, release your arms. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Touch the floor. Inhale, extend your spine forward. Step back, plank pose. Spread your fingers. Claw with your finger pads. Press your index finger knuckles down. Firm your legs. Take your tailbone in. Take your tailbone in, lift your low belly. Keep that tailbone in. Chaturanga Dandasana. Cobra pose. Lower back down to your belly. Flex your feet. Straighten your legs. So do like chaturanga legs. Flex your feet, straighten your legs. Like chaturanga legs, flex your feet. Yeah, straighten your legs. Now take your tailbone in so much that you lift your low belly. Bring your shoulders on your back. Push to downward facing dog. Lift your low belly, lift the front of your ribs, stretch back. Breathe here. Listen to the sound of your breath. Use the breath as a focal point for awareness. With your next exhalation, bend your knees, look forward, and step or jump forward. Join your legs together. Inhale, extend your spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow deeply, Uttanasana. Inhale, come all the way up. Stretch your arms. Keep the lift in your spine. Exhale, release your hands, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Squeeze even your outer heels towards each other. Inhale, stretch your spine forward. Plank pose. Exhale. Turn your hands out slightly. Squeeze your legs. Take your tailbone in, lift your low belly. Lift the front of your ribs slightly, as if you're trying to round your back like cat pose. Now lift your chin out of your chest, gaze slightly forward. Bend your elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, lower. Flex your feet, straighten your legs. Firm the legs, lift your kneecaps up, lift your thighs up, take your tailbone in so much you lift your low belly. Now bring your shoulders away from the floor as high as your elbows. Yeah, look at them. So this means lift your chest up slightly. Now lift your ribs and push back to downward facing dog. Belly up, ribs up, stretch back. Breathe here. As you exhale, bend your knees, step or jump forward. Bring your legs together. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, bow deeply. Squeeze your legs and stand up. Exhale, release your arms. One more, Surya Namaskar. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extend your spine. Plank pose, exhale. I'm slowing you down here. Now firm your legs, squeeze them together. Take your tailbone in, lift your low belly. Keep your low belly lifting, lift the front of your ribs. Keep the front of your ribs lifting, lift your chin slightly, and soften your upper back in between your shoulder blades. But don't drop your tailbone with that action. Chaturanga Dandasana. This time, upward facing dog. Lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Push back, downward facing dog. Tailbone in through that. Exhale, bend your knees, step or jump forward. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, bow deeply. Bring your legs together, squeeze your legs together. So we're going to some back bends with the legs together. So you got to kind of limit yourself, right? In that kind of bind your freedom notion of bringing your legs together. Inhale, stand up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, release your arms, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Step your left leg back, lunge. We'll do some standing poses in vinyasa. These are your warm-ups. Spin your left heel to the floor. Bring your left hand to your hip. Set up for Utthita Parsvakonasana. So keep that right knee bent to a square. Stephen, go a little longer with your stance. Now scoop your tailbone down. Bring your right sit bone forward and lift your low belly. Turn your belly up. Bring your shoulders on your back. Turn your chest up. Turn your heart up. Now stretch through your legs. Stretch through your spine. Stretch your left arm over your left ear. Yeah. And sit lower into that right leg. So bend your right knee, right thigh parallel to the floor. Go longer with your stance, like 2 more inches. Yeah. Exhale, touch the floor. Plank pose. Spread your fingers. Make your hands, arms, and shoulders strong. Now make your legs strong. Take your tailbone and lift your low belly. Lift the front of your ribs. Now lift your chin and soften your upper back slightly. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Push back, downward facing dog. Exhale, bend your knees, step or jump forward. Bring your legs together and squeeze them together and bow deeply. Step your right leg back, lunge. Bend your left knee to a square. Spin your right heel to the floor, bring your right hand to your right hip. Set up for Utthita Parsvakonasana. Firm your legs. Now scoop your buttocks, take your tailbone in, squeeze your left sit bone towards your tailbone, draw your low belly in and turn your belly up. Now bring your shoulders on your back. Turn your ribs up, turn your heart up. Now stretch your legs. That's with your right hand on your right hip, like push that right hand through your right foot. Go a little longer with your stance, keep this shin perpendicular. Now stretch your right arm over your right ear. Bring your right hand forward slightly. Let's take it over the ear. Bring your right hand forward slightly, it's in the front plane. Now take your shoulder behind you. So plug the arm in from the fingers, put some life into that hand. Draw from the hand back into the shoulder, then stretch the arm over the ear. Try get your inner tricep behind your right ear and look up from underneath that arm. Exhale, touch the floor, step back, plank pose. Plank pose, organize here. Firm your legs. Take your tailbone in, lift your low belly. Lift the front of your ribs and soften in your upper back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Chaturanga Dandasana. Downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, step or jump forward. Bring your legs together. Inhale, stretch your spine forward. Exhale, bow deeply. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, release your arms. Anjali Mudra. Okay, reminder. If we're doing chaturanga to up dog, to chaturanga to down dog, here's your quiz question. At what point do you put your belly, pelvis, thighs, pelvis, or belly down? Never. All right? Because there's going to be that like strong desire, like kind of hold. Right? Especially if you're like used to like the Cobra thing and you go like, I get a 3.7 second break here, and then I ask myself to work again. For these 90 minutes, there's no break. Take a break later. That's called bed. Sleep. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, bow deeply. Step your left leg back, lunge. Set up for Virabhadrasana 1. Stretch your left heel to the floor. Squeeze your legs. Keep your hips square to the front. Bend your right knee till your right thigh is parallel to the floor. Yeah, it's right there. You can look at it. Inhale, come up. Hook your thumbs, stretch. Now squeeze your legs even more. Take your outer right hip back and down. Bring your left hip forward. Move your ribs back. Sit lower in your right leg. Yeah. Jane, well done. Okay, everybody except for Jane. Sit 2 inches lower in your right leg. I know everybody's going, who's Jane? Exhale, touch the floor. Plank pose. Okay, give yourself a pep talk. At no point, and the pep talk is like, don't collapse. Come on, you can do it. Okay, squeeze your legs, take your tailbone and lift your low belly, lift the front of your ribs, soften your upper back, lift your chin. I know that was like one quick sentence. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Better. Chaturanga Dandasana. Downward facing dog. See? You did it. That was amazing. You asked yourself to do it and it's possible. Exhale. Bend your knees, step or jump forward. Join your legs together. Extend your spine in Uttanasana. Exhale, bow deeply in Uttanasana. Step your right leg back, lunge. Stretch your right heel to the floor. Set up for Virabhadrasana 1. Squeeze your legs, squeeze your thighs. Bring your right hip forward. Tack your left hip back and down. Then bend that left knee. Do your best. Get that left thigh parallel to the floor, which is bend the knee, bend the knee. Inhale, come up. Hook your thumbs and stretch. Now squeeze your thighs together even more. Turn the front of your right leg in. Bring your right hip bone, pelvic bone closer towards your navel. Now move your left ribs back. Scoop your tailbone. Sit lower in the legs. See, it's already better this side. Okay, everybody sit 1 inch lower. Joni can sit 2 inches lower. I know, you're riding the bike. Use those legs, those cycling legs. Exhale, touchdown, plank pose. Organize here. Breathe, focus, create focused actions. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Thighs up, thighs up, thighs up, knees up. Chaturanga Dandasana. Downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, step or jump forward. Join your legs together. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, bow deeply. Squeeze your legs and stand up. Exhale, release your arms. Anjali Mudra. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extend your spine. Step to your left leg back, lunge. Bend your left knee to the floor. Bring both hands to your front thigh, firm your legs, lift your spine. Now move your ribs back, twist to your right. To your right. Okay, put your right hand on your right thigh. Okay, so no Anjali Mudra. No Anjali, we're outline Anjali Mudra in revolved Parshvakonasana. Why? It's because it usually means you just stop there. Right? You go to Anjali Mudra and the pose is done. Okay, lift your ribs. Twist more. Let's see, the pose isn't done. Now, get your outer left ribs to your right thigh. Get your outer left shoulder blade to the outside of your right knee. Touch your left hand to the floor. Lift your ribs and twist to get there. That's it. Now squeeze your legs. Stretch your right arm over your right ear. I'll give you 3 options in this pose. This is the first one. Okay. Make your back leg straight. Option number 2. Stay low in the front hip though. Squeeze the right hip in. Option number 3, put your back heel down on the floor. So back heel does Virabhadrasana 1 back leg. So it's full pose, revolved Parshvakonasana. Pull the inner right shoulder back. And stretch that arm. Breathe here as best you can. Even though you can't breathe, still breathe. All right, touch down. Plank pose. Firm your legs, take your tailbone in, lift your low belly. Chaturanga Dandasana. Roll over your toes, upward facing dog. Thighs up, knees up, chest up, lower chaturanga. Don't collapse, lower, push back, down dog. Inhale here. Exhale, step or jump forward. Bring your legs together, squeeze them together. Exhale, bow deeply. Step your right leg back, lunge. Bend your right knee to the floor. Bring both hands on your front thigh. Inhale, lift your spine. Exhale, move your ribs back, like round your back, like cat pose, and twist to the left. Revolved Parshvakonasana. Okay, note the tendency to go to Anjali Mudra, and then don't do that. I mean, like with love, right? Like there's nothing wrong with that. That's how it's often taught. Lift your ribs and turn your ribs more. Get your outer right ribs to your left thigh. Get your outer right shoulder blade to the left thigh. So you gotta close the space between your right armpit and your left thigh. So you dig in. Use your left hand to help you work. Okay. Squeeze your legs. Stretch your left arm over your left ear. Stay here, this is stage 1. Stage 2, make your back leg straight. Stage 3, spin your right heel to the floor. Breathe even though it's hard to breathe. Right, stay strong, stay committed, even if you're shaking. Exhale, release, touch the floor, step back, plank pose. Squeeze your legs, take your tailbone and lift your low belly. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Chaturanga Dandasana. Downward facing dog. Bend your knees to the floor, sit back on your heels for a moment. Sit up, please. Watch, please. Okay. So, back knee down, come to here. The instruction is Parvrita, revolved Parshvakonasana. If it stops here, right, so even my torso is leaning that way, right? So instead of Anjali Mudra, use this hand to help you work. Lift your ribs. Twist. Outer right shoulder blade to the outside of the leg. Here. So even the shape of the pose is way deeper. It's a totally different effect than this pose. It can be kind of a series of graceful, convulsive-like movements to get there. Okay, downward facing dog. We're gonna pick the sequence up with revolved Parshvakonasana. Step or jump forward, Uttanasana. Squeeze your legs together, stretch your spine. Exhale, bow deeply. Step your left leg back, bend your left knee to the floor. Bring both hands to your front thigh. Firm your legs, lift your spine, inhale. Now move your ribs back and twist as you exhale. Use your right hand to help you work deeper. Even grab your ribs with your right hand. Right? Turn your ribs, turn your belly like a belly horn, like a rib horn, like a shoe horn, belly horn, rib horn thing. Yeah, yes, there you go. Left hand down. Squeeze your legs, take your shoulders back, stretch your right arm over your right ear. Keep your back leg strong. Don't let it go. Make it even stronger. Now make your back leg straight. Stage 2. Stage 3, spin your left heel to the floor. Stretch the arm. Exhale, release. Downward facing dog. Inhale here. Step or jump forward, Uttanasana. Look, we skipped the vinyasa. Inhale, extend your spine. Bring your legs together, squeeze them, exhale, bow deeply. Step your right leg back. Bend your right knee to the floor. Bring your hands up on your front thigh, firm your legs, lift your spine, inhale. Exhale, twist. Use your left hand, squeeze your left hand onto your left thigh. Lift your ribs, turn them more. Use your left hand like a shoe horn on your belly, like a rib horn on your ribs. Touch your right hand to the floor. Yes, see? Already better. Wow, thank you. Squeeze your legs. Take your shoulders back. Lift your chin, take your head back. Stretch your left arm over your left ear. Stage 2, make your back leg straight. Stay low in the front hip. Stage 3, spin your right heel to the floor. Now stretch your legs, stretch your spine. So in this bound and restricted shape, still expand. Push against the boundaries and expand as much as you can. Exhale, release. Step back, down dog. Inhale here. Exhale, bend your knees, step or jump forward. Bring your legs together and squeeze them. Inhale, stretch your spine. Exhale, bow deeply. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release your arms. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Step your left leg back, lunge. Spin your left heel to the floor. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Straighten your right leg. Utthita Trikonasana. Do triangle pose. Longer stance, longer stance. Back row, longer stance. Now, squeeze the tops of your knees. Press the balls of your feet down. Spread your toes. Firm the muscles of your legs. Take your tailbone in. Bring your right hip under. Pull your right sit bone forward. Draw your low belly in and turn your belly up. Turn your ribs up. Press both shoulders back. Go a little longer with your stance. Like 2 more inches with that leg. Yeah, keep going. Oh. That's it. Yeah, okay, right there. Now touch the right hand to the floor. See. Exhale, touch down. Step back, plank pose. Firm your legs, take your tailbone and lift your low belly, lift the front of your ribs, soften your upper back, look slightly forward. Chaturanga. Stay strong, don't drop. Up dog. Chaturanga. Push back. Tailbone in. Ribs up. Inhale here. Step or jump forward, exhale. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, bow. Step your right leg back, lunge. And measure your stance from the lunge. So bend your left knee to a square, come up onto fingertips, walk your right leg further back, and spin your right heel to the floor. Bring your right hand to your right hip, straighten your left leg, slide your left hand back 3 or 4 inches so your left wrist stays underneath your left shoulder. Firm the muscles of your legs. Take your tailbone in, lift your low belly, turn your belly up, turn your ribs up. Press your shoulders back, stack your shoulders. Stretch your right arm up. Now stretch. From your hips, push through your feet. From your hips, stretch through your spine. Stretch through the top of your head like you're doing headstand. And revolve, turn, turn, turn. Exhale, touch down. Plank pose. Organize here. Firm your legs, take your tailbone and lift your low belly. Soften your upper back, gaze slightly forward. Chaturanga. Up dog. Keep your tailbone in. Keep your tailbone in, chaturanga. Keep your tailbone in, downward facing dog. Exhale, bend your knees, step or jump forward. Bring your legs together. Inhale, stretch your spine. Exhale, bow deeply. Squeeze your legs and stand up. Inhale. Exhale, release your arms. Okay, one more standing pose. Inhale, stretch up. You should start to feel warmed up. Exhale, bow deeply. Yeah? No? Maybe? Okay, inhale, stretch your spine forward. Exhale, bow deeply. Step your left leg back, lunge. Stretch your left heel to the floor. Keep your hips square to the front this time. Stretch your right leg straight. Come up on fingertips. Lift your chest. Stretch your spine forward. Even look forward. Now squeeze your legs even more. Squeeze your thighs together. Draw your outer right hip back. And then squeeze your right hip in. Revolved triangle pose. Bring your left hand to the floor outside your right shin. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Squeeze your legs even more, and it's narrow stance. All right, so use your power to focus and stabilize. Stretch your spine forward and revolve. Stack your shoulders. Stretch your right arm up. Push through your right foot. Stretch your left heel to the floor. So get the back heel down. That's it. Yes, good. Now squeeze your outer right hip back and squeeze your right hip in. Right hip back and in. Compact your right hip. Twist and look up. Exhale, touch down. Plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Keep your tailbone in. Upward facing dog. Keep your tailbone in. Chaturanga Dandasana. Keep your tailbone in, push back, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, step or jump forward. Bring your legs together, inhale, stretch your spine forward. Exhale, bow deeply. Step your right leg back, lunge. Stretch your right heel to the floor, straighten your front leg. So I go with the longer stance. It's less stable. So use the opportunity of where it's less stable, bring your consciousness to bear as the stabilizing element. Lift your chest, stretch forward. Push down and forward with your fingers. Press the ball of your left foot down. Take your thighs back, push your right heel down. Put as much weight in your back heel as you can. Bring your right hand to the floor outside your left shin. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Lift your chest, twist. Take your outer left hip back. Then compact your left hip. Squeeze it in towards the midline. Stretch the right heel to the floor. Lift your chest and twist. Think back bend and twist. Look up, stretch your left arm. Squeeze your legs even more. Take your outer left hip towards your right heel. Outer left hip towards your right heel. Bring your sternum to your left. Bring your sternum to your left. This way, this left, over here. Exhale, touchdown, plank pose. Plank pose, there's your resting pose. Rest in a focused state of awareness. Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog. Chaturanga Dandasana. Down dog. Exhale, step or jump forward. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, bow deeply. Legs together, squeeze them. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, release your arms. Anjali Mudra. Okay, well done. Now, you're gonna sit on your block, bend your left leg in Virasana. I know I'm turning my back on you. I don't mean to be rude. Put your right foot on the floor. Lean back. Lift your hips. Scoop your tailbone. Put your hips back down on the block. Go onto your forearms. Keep your tailbone in. From your left hip, stretch through your left knee. Keep your left knee in towards the midline. And go all the way back. Head down, shoulders down, upper back down. Do you feel that stretch on your left thigh? That's what this pose is for. How cool is that? That's what it's for, and that's what you feel. It's happening. Now, keep your tailbone in. Keep your low belly engaged. From your left hip, reach through your left knee. So you're going to go underneath that sensation of stretch and reach through the bones of the left leg. Breathe here. Move the sides of your waist, the sides of your ribs down towards the floor. Okay, carefully come up. Switch legs, right leg Virasana. Left foot on the floor. Lean back. Lift your hips, scoop your tailbone. Bring the middle of your buttocks away from the block, then put your hips back down in the block, but keep that action. Draw your low belly in and up, and go back. From your left hip, reach through your left thigh, through your left knee. It may come off the floor, that right knee. Did I say left? I meant right. The right knee may come off the floor. Reach through the bones of the right leg. So go underneath the sensation of stretch, underneath the muscular sensation, and extend through the bones of the right leg. Yeah. And you can, there's bus stops along the way, right? There's the lean back, I'm good here stage. Right? Generally, like you take this pose to the point of a grimace. Right? When your outward composure starts to become threatened, that's when the pose gets interesting. Okay, carefully come up. First side again. Left leg virasana. Bend your right knee, put your right foot on the floor. Lean back. Lift your hips off the block, scoop your buttocks. Bring the middle of your buttocks towards the ceiling. Include the tailbone in that action. Draw your low belly in and up, and lean back and go back. Okay, we're in repetition now. Let's call this stage 1. Stage 2, lift your hips and put the block to the medium setting. There's 3 height settings on the block. The higher you take the pelvis, the more opening we're targeting, the increased angle on the hip flexors and the quadriceps of your left leg. Now having grab your left foot and pull your left foot towards your left shoulder slightly. Squeeze your knees in towards the midline. Scoop your buttocks. Reach through the left thigh. Touch the left shin back down to the floor. Like that. Even if your shoulders come up. And try to keep the shin down. See if you can replace your shoulders down. Just, Okay. Lower the block or remove the block. Carefully come up. There's not really a graceful way out of that. It's kind of like just do your best with that. Okay, sit on the block, right leg virasana. So go to the low setting first. Yeah, mild. This is mild setting. Right? It's mild, medium, and spicy. Okay, go back, scoop your buttocks, bring the middle of your butt away from the block. So where the coccyx meets the sacrum, that's sacrococcygeal junction. Right? It's right at the middle of the butt. Right? Scoop there and lift that towards the ceiling. And stretch through your right thigh. Reach through your right knee. Stay here, stage 1. Stage 2, lift your hips, turn the block up a notch. Grab your right foot, slide it towards your right shoulder. Squeeze your right shin in towards the midline. Reach through your right knee, stretch the leg, reach the leg, put the shin down. Even if your shoulders come up, put the right shin down. If you can keep the shin down, put your shoulders down. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Okay, lower the block or remove the block. Carefully come up. All right. Stretch your legs, Uttanasana. Uttanasana, standing forward, Ben. Standing forward. Everyone's like, I don't know, based on what you did, this is what I think you heard. Asana. Like the dazed expressions. Okay, firm your legs, bring your hands on your hips, shoulders on your back, lift your chin, come up to standing. Bring the short edge of your mat and your props to the wall, please. All that stuff, moving stuff around. Now, make a loop in your belt so that it's shoulder width. Make your belt as wide as your outer shoulders. Go mat to mat. Brandon, scoot over a little bit. Space here, Stephen. Window, go. You guys scoot over just a little bit. There's at least one more spot there. Run, make a loop as wide as your outer shoulders. And come watch, please. So the belt was your first, then leave your belt. Walk away from your belt. Come on over. I'm gonna do some specific work and really some variations on Pincha Mayurasana. So your strap goes just above the elbows. It can even go just below the elbows. Yeah? Your blanket, folded, is to go underneath your elbows. Elbows on the blanket, hands on the sticky mat, fingertips to the baseboard. Lengthen your side body, integrate your shoulders, kick up, squeeze your legs, take your tailbone in, stretch your chest. So the form is chest away from the wall, not this one. Squeeze your legs, take your tailbone in, lift your low belly, stretch your chest away from the wall. And this way. You could put the strap beneath your elbows too, and it's not going to cut you in your face as much. Oh. Right, heels on the wall, no balance. Then come down. Fair enough? Try. Right, make a column fold in your blanket. It goes underneath your elbows. Put your strap on your forearms just below your elbows.
This scares me a lot.
The pose?
Yes, never done it.
Do it with your lower body in downward facing dog. So just cut out the kick, yeah? Okay, put your elbows on the blanket, palms on the floor, fingertips to the baseboard. Lengthen your side body. Move your knees back a little bit, yeah. Lengthen from your hip to your shoulder, soften in your upper back, lift your knees up, walk in and kick up. Now, commit your heels to the wall. Oh, what's going on back there? Back row, come on, come on, come on. My belt, how does this work? Fix it. Okay, commit your heels on the wall. Squeeze your legs together. Take your tailbone in, move your ribs back, and stretch. Stretch your chest away from the wall. Move your ribs towards the wall. Bring the middle of your buttocks away from the wall. Push down, drive your feet up. Yeah, squeeze your legs together, together, together. Okay, calm down. Okay. Here's the next one. Turn and watch, please. I know that was exciting. It's kind of social, too. You can turn away from the wall and look at me, please. Now, I'm going to tell you several things, so pay attention. That's my disclaimer. Because otherwise, you'll think you're paying attention, and you'll get into it, and you'll have no idea what to do. The block goes in the upper back, right on the tight part of the upper back. Yeah? Get the block there. Then, put your belt on your upper arms, behind your head. Integrate your shoulders. Take your tailbone in. Stretch. When it's time to come up, move the belt, and sit up. Okay. Doesn't matter. Just make sure you have space, right? So if your legs are out, that your hands aren't gonna have to go through the drywall. Okay, now recall, get the block in place before you strap your arms. Yeah. So get the block in place, so go back onto your arms, put the block in your upper back, stretch your legs, firm your legs, scoop your tailbone. Get the block in the stiffer part of the upper back, not in the mid or lower back. Now put your strap on your upper arms. Get high enough that you can put it behind your head. That's the tricky part. You can do it. You can do it. Okay. Now you can put your head back on that belt. Integrate your shoulders, lift your chest, stretch your arms. Use the weight of your head, both the passive weight and the active weight. Press back. Stretch your thumbnails to the floor. That's the firmer blocks are better, yeah? That's why one of the lighter blue blocks are the firmer blocks. It's kind of marshmallowy. Do your best. That's all we ever really ask anyway. Do your best. This should feel like an opening in the upper back and the arms. Yeah? Okay, good. That's what it means to be. Okay. Remove the strap. Put your hands on the floor, lift your chest and come up. Lift your chest, come up. All right, one more round, Pinchamaya asana with the elbows on the blanket. Strap the arms. Put your hands on the floor, fingertips to the baseboard. So the strap is binding our freedom. It's limiting the possibility. So that lasso, so you strap yourself, you tie yourself, just so, just there, and then work within that. Go up, kick up. Heels on the wall. Heels on the wall, so no balance. Squeeze your legs together. Squeeze your legs together. Take your tailbone away from the wall. Stretch your chest towards the middle of the room. Head up, chest towards the middle of the room. This way, this way, this way, this way. Squeeze your legs together. Stretch your heels up more. Yep, take your heart away from the wall. Look towards the middle of the room. Move your ribs back. Right, sideways back, ribs back. Bring the middle of your buttocks away from the wall even more and stretch. Chrissy, squeeze your ankles towards each other a little bit more. Oh, yes, I see. Okay, exhale, come down. Okay. Block in the upper back. Get the block in position. In the upper back, belt your arms. One more round of that one. High. Yeah. The higher, the better. Yeah. Yeah, that way. There's one place we used to special order longer blocks. Because if you do this enough, then it gets mellow. It's like a variation of Shavasana after a while. And you've got to get extra long blocks. Just keep yourself interested. So, all that's to say, try not to get bored. Stay focused. Okay, integrate your shoulders. Pull your inner shoulders down, pull your outer shoulder blades down. Lift your chest right where that block is. The back of the heart, lift up. Squeeze your legs. Take your tailbone in, scoop your buttocks towards your heels, and stretch. Okay, 2 more breaths. So get your thumbnails down. If you can, turn your palms up. See how many knuckles you can get down. It's the knuckles down challenge. You get feedback too on the differences in your shoulders. Which hand touches, which hand doesn't. Okay, remove the belt. Keep a lift in your chest. Use your hands on the floor and sit up. Welcome back. Okay, here's your next complex task. You ready for it? Ready? You're going to number off. 1, 2, 1, 2. Start here.
1, 2.
1, 2, 1.
1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
1.
2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, 1. 1, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2.
1, 2.
Well done. Remember your number, okay? As you bring your mats back to your spot, if you are a 1, get a folding metal chair. Come back to your spot, please. Okay. Chrissy, I'm stealing your chair for a moment. Watch. Here's what you're going to do on the chair. Pad the edge, right? And that's going to go right on the tailbone. Bear down on that. Hold the back of the chair. Curl back. Take your head back. Hold the seat of the chair. Here. You can work here. Work your hands down. Okay? Okay. Now, the ones are going to start off with that. The twos are going to start off with something else. You got to watch both so you know what to do, because we're going to take turns and you're going to do both things. That's nice. You get to sit in the chair. Oh, nice one. So we should make yoga chairs with drink holders in them. Okay. Now, you're going to make a very small loop and tie your big toes together. Okay. Don't go away yet, though. I'm okay. Put the block under the base of the sacrum. Clasp your hands. Stretch your legs. All right. You're going to bind the big toes together. Squeeze the legs together. Take your tailbone up. Lift your chest. Then you just step out of that. And down. Okay. Try. It's the old back bend allergy. Okay, you can pad the edge of the chair. A sticky mat actually works the best. So you stick and don't slide. Or towel, blanket. Move the blanket from underneath your head. Okay, on the chair, put your tailbone on the edge of the chair. Your tailbone's lower than that. Other than that, yeah. Yeah, like that. Scoot. Yep. Bear down on that chair. Coil your upper back. Take your head towards the seat of the chair. All right, if you're shorter, you have to come up on your tiptoes and lift your heels. Stage 1 is to hold the back of the chair, all right, and stretch from there. Stage 2, take your arms overhead and hold the seat of the chair. Stage 3, you walk your hands down the legs of the chair. Okay. Carefully come out of the pose. Now push down as you come up. Pushing down stabilizes that chair. Okay. Swap the chair. If you had a chair, give it up. If you didn't have a chair, grab one.
Use the mat instead of that.
Let's do what someone else did over there. It's pretty smart. Okay, if you're in Setu Bandha, lie down, put the strap on your toes, then lift your hips, so bind your toes. Yeah, that little lasso on your toes. Get it lower, so tailbone's down, lower. Yep, yep. Now, grip the chair. Lift your chest, lift your chest. That's it. You lift your heels, squeeze your legs together. Like bridge pose, block under the sacrum, stretch your legs straight. It's there. Yeah, lift your chest up. Yep. Yeah, right there. Right there. Yeah, squeeze your legs together towards each other a little bit more. Okay, come up. Come on down, you guys. Switch. One more round. Go in, go in. And Setu Bandha, bind your big toes, lie on your back. Put the block underneath your sacrum on the highest setting. Clasp your hands around the block. Stretch your legs straight. Yep. Butt. Middle of the butt. Yep. Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep. Okay, keep your tailbone in. Stretch your legs. It's logistically complicated. I know. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. We got the props out. It's getting crazy in the yoga room. Oh, it's good. It's good length. You want lower, you want down, like on your middle butt.
So I want to go higher or lower?
Yeah, so you want it right there.
Okay.
That's it, lift your chest up more. Yeah, so get this length. Okay, carefully come up. We don't have them. I'd use them if we had them. Do Kapotasana. We got one more switch, right?
Yeah, I almost said that.
Yo. Switch.
This sounds like totally wacky.
Yeah, well, you want this in under your tailbone. So bend your knees. Get this smaller. You have a twist in that strap too. That's the problem. Okay, lie on your back. Lift your hips. Put the block. Yeah, bridge pose. Yeah.
Hard time to bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. Now clasp around the block. Stabilize the block. Stretch your legs straight. Yeah. It's like a leash. You've leashed your toes. Yeah, so really you want that chair lower on your butt. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
I was trying to get my feet on the ground.
That's okay. Let the heels be up. Yeah. Then yeah, stay where you are in the chair there. Stretch your heels down, even if they don't come down. Yeah. Yep. Stretch your left side more.
I'm afraid the chairs can fall.
It's not gonna fall. It's strong. It's pretty darn stable chairs. Yeah. Albeit these are not the usual things we do with chairs, unless you usually do these things with chairs. Okay, carefully come up. Now, we're moving on. We're going to do Urdhva Dhanurasana 2, and Dvipada Viparita Dandasana, 3, and 3. That's what's on deck. You've got chair options, though, instead of those poses. Okay, you can back bend on the chair like you have been doing. You can back bend on the block. Okay, one that I didn't show you, because the back is, ideally we knock the back of these chairs out so there's more space. We didn't do this one because there's not that much space, right? And yeah, see, these are narrow chairs. See, not everyone's pelvis is thin enough, right, to fit, but there's this back bend as well. Right. And then you get stuck, and it's like then you're wearing a chair for the next couple of days. Okay, there's 2 white chairs with no back in the chair, and that's ideal. Okay, chairs to the side. Lie on your back, please. Set up for Urdhva Dhanurasana. Bend your knees. Place your feet on the floor. Couple 2 or 3 inches away from your sit bones. Put your hands on the floor by your ears. Give yourself a pep talk. Okay. Upward bow, also called full wheel. You know, it's this one. Come to the top of your head. Keep your feet parallel. Pull your shoulders on your back. Coil in your upper back, where you have that block in your upper back for those poses. Now keep your tailbone in and go up, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Lift your heels. Squeeze your knees towards each other. Walk in slightly, inch or 2. Jane, grab one of the white chairs without the back. Now, lift your tailbone. Lift the middle of your buttocks. Right? So if you're trying to put your tailbone on the ceiling, stretch your arms straight. Tailbone up, arms straight, lower your heels. Tailbone up, arms straight, lower your heels. Push through your heels and stretch your tailbone. Exhale, come down. It's just all sorts of dramatic breathing going on. And I was like, whoosh. Sometimes I think that yoga students even try to signal to the yoga teacher by breathing dramatically. I generally don't listen to breath signals, though. Dramatic breath signals. Okay, number 2, place your hands, place your feet. Right, summon your breath, though. Summon your prana. Get your life force. Come up to the top of your head. Keep your tailbone up. Keep your feet parallel. Pull your shoulders on your back. Coil in your upper back and go up. Lift your heels. Come onto the balls of your feet. Walk in a little bit. Inch or 2 or 3. Now squeeze your knees. Put your tailbone on the ceiling. Lift the middle of your buttocks high. Stretch your arms. Arms straight. Arms straight. That's what we're going for here. Keep your tailbone up. Lower your heels. Keep your tailbone up. Push. Push through your feet. Stretch through your arms. Exhale down. You guys are sporty. Just looking like that. It's like sporty outfits, sporty yoga clothes. Okay, number 3. We're doing these in triads. Bend your knees, place your feet, place your hands on the floor. Deepen your breath, summon your energies and focus. Yeah, don't give me that, come on. We just started, we're just getting going. Come up to the top of your head. Put your tailbone on the ceiling, pull your shoulders back, coil deeper in your upper back and go. Lift your heels, walk in, couple 2-3 inches. Squeeze your knees, put your tailbone on the ceiling. Lift the middle of your buttocks, stretch your arms straight. Claw with the fingers, push with your arms. Arms straight, now heels down. Tailbone up, heels down. Tailbone up, stretch your arms. Exhale, release. Okay, Urdhva Dhanurasana 1. That's what you just did. So Urdhva Dhanurasana 1 has the feet hip-width apart, the knees slightly bent, and the arms straight. Right, so the first order of business, Urdhva Dhanurasana 1, is organize your pose and get the arms straight. Right, you've got chair back bend options. You've got supported back bend options to stretch the upper back and stretch your arms, so on and so forth. Okay, roll to your side. Watch the next one. Urdhva Dhanurasana 2 has the legs together and the legs straight. Okay? You're going to use your toe bondage apparatus. Tie your toes together. You work with the feet together the whole time. Stretch your legs straight. Push. Stretch the legs straight, keep the tailbone up, stretch your chest and your arms. Bind your toes. See, when's the last time you did this in a yoga class? But outside of the yoga class, maybe all the time. Okay. Put your hands by your ears. Now take note, your base has become smaller. Right? So you've got to draw to the midline more and create even more focus and more steadiness. Come up to the top of your head, keep your tailbone up, pull your shoulders back, coil in your upper back, and go up. Push with your hands. Itsy bitsy spider your feet away from your hands. Push through your feet. Take your tailbone up way, way, way lots. Stretch your arms, coil in your upper back. Straight legs, straight arms, Urdhva Dhanurasana 2. So squeeze the upper inner knees. Push from the tailbone through the inner knees, through the inner feet. And down. Slowly down, slowly down. Was that interesting? Something's happening? Yeah. Yep. It's harder. That's why they call it 2. There's no coincidence. All right, number 2. But again, now it's the easier one. The first one, it's new, it's unfamiliar. It's like you dropped off in the jungle, breaking trail with a machete. All right, now there's a trail. Okay, go up to the top of the head. Take your tailbone up, plug your shoulders in, coil in your upper back, and go. And go. Claw with the hands. Push through the arms. Stretch your legs straight. Get your tailbone up. Push through your inner knees. Inner tailbone to inner knee to inner feet. Coil in your upper back and stretch your arms. You can step out of that strap. Walk your feet in and come down slowly. See, that was more graceful. You can step out of the toe bondage. Rest. See, the cool thing is the toe strap is actually really for the next pose. It's not even really for this one, although it does help for Urdhva Dhanurasana too. Just introducing the strap here. In fact, we introduced it earlier so that the toe bondage thing isn't new all of a sudden. It's like you're going to be well familiar with this. Okay, number 3. Third and final, Urdhva Dhanurasana 2. Bind your toes. So it's Ganesha's little noose. Like a baby noose. Now you've got the options just to skip the stop on the top of your head. Sometimes that's useful for organizational purposes. Sometimes you just stay there and lose power. Right? So you can go all the way up. Just plug your shoulders in, coil and go. Claw with the fingers. Stretch your arms and stretch your legs. Push through the feet. Take the tailbone in and up even more. Stretch your arms straight. Stretch your legs straight. Push through your feet. Extend through your upper back. Coil deeper at the back of the heart. Step out of that toe bondage and come down. Urdhva Dhanurasana 2. Okay, roll to your side. Come watch the next one. Okay, this one's going to raise the stakes a little bit. Okay, not just in the kind of logistical complication of the strap, because because now you've got to have the strap going the length of the spine beyond your head. Right? That's going to be complicated. Strap. There you are, Urdhva Dhanurasana 2. Come down to your head. Take one shoulder, one arm back, take the other arm back. Grab your strap. Not. Pull against your strap. Stretch your legs straight. Then put your head down. Stretch your legs straight. Coil in your upper back. Dvipada Viparita Dandasana with the head down and legs straight. Did you follow that? Okay. Get your toe strap on. Or grab a chair and back bend on a chair. I'm getting a chair. I do mean, like, chairs are great options. Do a supported back bend. Now keep working. Okay. Put your hands on the floor. Come up, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Stretch your legs straight, Urdhva Dhanurasana 2. Keep your hips, tailbone up as high as you can. Put your head down. Take one arm at a time behind your head. Grab your strap. Get your elbows shoulder width apart. Dvipada with your head up, so lift your head. Stretch your legs straight. Keep your tailbone up high, pelvis up high. Push through your feet. Pull the strap taut. So use that tension to stretch the pose. Walk your feet out. You got to slide the strap out a little bit. So you got to pull the line taut, but get your feet to walk out so your legs stretch straight. Now get your head down. Work Dvipada with the head down, legs straight. Try to interlace your fingers with that strap there. That's it, Chrissy. Push through your inner knees. Yes. Yes. Good. Step out of your strap. Press up Urdhva Dhanurasana. And slowly down. I think that's too small. Okay, 2 more. Only 2, only 2. I know, we could do way more than that. We're only gonna do 2 more though. We're just gonna have to cut it off at a certain point. Yeah, good call, right? Got other things to do. Okay. Bind your toes. Push up Urdhva Dhanurasana. Straighten your legs, Urdhva Dhanurasana 2. Come back down to your head. Put one arm at a time in headstand position. Grab your belt. Keep your tailbone up. Stretch your legs straight. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Put your head down, stretch your legs straight. Dvipada Viparita Dandasana. Yes, well done. Step out of your toe loop. Push up Urdhva Dhanurasana. Come down and rest. Rest for a couple of breaths. So you know also when we're doing sets of things, even the rest is a measured, focused experience. Last back bend. Last one. So you've been pacing yourself, not sure. We're going to do 40 more. Now you know. This is the last one. So you don't have to hold yourself back anymore. Okay, go. Urdhva Dhanurasana. Straight legs, Urdhva 2. Head down, arms in headstand position. Dvipada Viparita Dandasana. Let your belt slide out a little bit more. Squeeze your elbows in a little bit more. Now take your tailbone up, stretch your legs straight. Step out of your toe belt. Come up, Urdhva Dhanurasana. And down. Okay. These back bends are like solidly on the intermediate syllabus. Welcome to level 2 syllabus. They're really hard poses. But they're leveraging a whole other, like the next 50 back bends. These ones have to teach. Okay. Come over, stretch into downward facing dog, please. It's like a garage sale in here. It's like a hurricane. Stretch your legs. Stretch your arms. Lengthen your spine. And breathe. Turn your hands out slightly. Walk forward, Uttanasana. Separate your feet hip width apart. Parshva Uttanasana. Bring your left hand to your outer right ankle. Firm your legs, lift and turn your belly to your right. Twist and look out from between your arms. As you widen your elbows. Keep your right hand on the floor. So it's like a peekaboo from between your elbows. That's it. Lift and turn your belly to the right. Tack your outer right hip back. Widen across your back. Switch. Bring your right hand to your outer left ankle. Broaden your elbows. Take your outer left hip back. Lift and turn your belly. So you stretch your legs, widen across your hips, back of your pelvis, your waist, your ribs. Back to center, Uttanasana. Stretch back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees to the floor. Sit back on your heels. Bring your left hand to your right thigh. Right hand to the back of your sacrum. Firm your legs, lift your chest. Inhale, twist to your right. And bow over your right thigh. Stretch your arms forward from the sides of your torso. Inhale, come up. Bring your right hand to your left thigh. Left hand at the back of the hips, firm your legs, lift your spine. Inhale, twist as you exhale. Back your left ribs off slightly. Broaden your right ribs, lift the right side of your spine, twist from your right ribs to your left ribs. Bow over your left thigh. Stretch your arms forward from the sides of your torso. Lift your left waist and ribs away from the floor slightly. Turn, twist from your right belly to your left, from your right ribs to your left. Inhale, come back up to center. Separate your knees, outer hip width apart. Lean forward on your hands, anchor your pelvis. Anchor your tailbone. Walk your hands forward. Keep your pelvis, tailbone anchored. Walk your hands forward. Bow your forehead to the mat. Inhale, come up. Stretch your legs forward. Interlace your fingers, loop them beyond your feet, or hold the big toes or the outer edges of the feet or your outer shins. Stretch your spine. Exhale, bow. Inhale, sit up, cross your legs. Join your palms together in front of your heart. Your homework assignment is Shavasana. That's what happens when you bust out the props. Time gets away. I'm blaming the props, not my own time management, yeah? May this practice help us to focus our energies, to commit ourselves to what is true, to what is meaningful, to what is valuable. May this practice help us to create the focus, to move ourselves toward our aims, and to live in the best way possible. Namaste.